Open your ears and lube up your butthole. It's time for the What Do We Call It podcast. Now, here's your host. It's Jmann. Welcome to the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm Jmann.
This is Steiny.
Hi.
This next story, also a year old. So I started working at the warehouse, and I had started taking walks on my lunch breaks. And in the process of this, I found a pretty cool playground nearby my job. And I told the kids, hey, it's a Saturday. It's nice out. I want to show you this cool park.
Mm-hmm.
And we're having a good time. The weather's decent. My kids are kind of whiners anyway, at least the older two. Mm-hmm. So it didn't last much more than like 25 minutes. And they're like, well, we're hungry. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Of course you are.
You just had breakfast 2 hours ago, you fuckers. We'll go to Target and get a snack then. And we're going to look at the toys.
Always do, right?
And I'm going to stop in the video games. So here's the layout. My son is sitting in the back of the cart.
Okay.
The older two are walking, obviously. And my daughter, who was 4 at the time, is sitting in the front of the cart, you know, with her legs to the thing.
Yep.
And we're sitting there looking at the Nintendo Switch games. And I turn my back and I hear... And I look at her like, really, dude? She's like, do you like my gross fart, Dad? I'm like, I guess. She's like, aren't you proud of me? You're fucking weird. Okay.
Well,
I guess. I mean, you did it. It's funny, but whatevs.
She does follow after you, I guess.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I'm pushing the cart another 2 minutes around the video game section, and the stink is not going away.
I was going to say, huh?
And then she's like, Dad, I have to go pee. I'm like, oh, okay. And then we go to the bathroom. And as we're going to the bathroom to walk in, she's like, I think I might have to go poop too. I'm like, whatever, you farted.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It makes sense, especially the way it smelled. Like when you're right there on the cusp of shitting. It's extra beefy for some reason.
I would be, as a parent, I'd be thinking, okay, maybe that one wasn't completely clean.
So obviously I have to take her into the fucking men's bathroom with me.
Yeah, at that age, yeah.
And the other two are watching Junior in the cart. So I get her down, I pull her pants down, I sit her on the toilet, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Yep, just like I was saying. Huh?
My Little Pony's got a brown cutie mark right there in the middle. She's like, did I poop? I'm like, no, you sharted. And then I had to explain what a shart was.
Oh, yeah.
And as she's sitting there, I tell her always, don't touch the toilet seat at all. Yeah. Put your hands on your legs, and I will hold you if you need me to. Well, she didn't listen to that. As soon as there was a fucking Hershey kiss of shit in her underwear to look at, she grabbed the toilet seat sides and leaned forward. I'm like, okay, we got to take your underwear off. I'm just going to throw them away. Fuck it. She's like, you can throw them away? I'm like, do you want to fucking keep them? There's poop in them, dude. Yeah. That's weird.
Right. And I got to run that through the washing machine, and I don't want to get that on everything else.
Well, what I normally do with those is I rinse them out, and I take some hand soap, and I fucking scrub it with a paper towel, and it's basically clean, and then I wash them.
That's exactly it. You know, I'm just saying throwing them in there full of crap. Yeah, obviously no.
No, that was something the Beast would probably do and wonder why her fucking laundry is basically shit bisque. That's BISQUE, I believe.
Yes.
For soup.
Soup, yes.
And as I'm pulling her My Little Pony panties off of her, what does she do? She goes to touch her face. I'm like, stop. She's like, why? I'm like, oh, God. I slapped her hand. She touched her fucking eyelid. I'm like, dude, you just touched the side of a public toilet bowl, and then you touched your eye. That's how you fucking get pink eye. Because people shit on this thing, and there's shit germs all over this. And then you touch the shit germs, and you touch your eye, and fecal matter in your fucking eye is how you get conjunctivitis, which is the scientific name for pink eye. So I'm already panicking, because I'm not sure if she got any poopy germs in her eye.
Sure.
Because that's going to turn into a whole other fucking episode of the show, obviously. Which is funny for everyone else, but a pain in the ass for me.
Oh, bitch.
So I get her wiped. We pull her pants up. She's like, it feels funny. I'm like, well, yeah, you're going commando. Then I had to explain what that means.
I was just going to say, another term she's being enlightened to today.
She's like, well, mommy doesn't always wear underwear. I'm like, that is correct. I know a lot of women that don't always wear underwear, but she happened to bring that up.
Yeah, no, the fact that she notices or knows that mom doesn't is the interesting part, but yeah.
Well, yeah, that too. We wash her hands, we get out, I explain to her sisters what happened. They go to start laughing, I'm like, shut the fuck up. We are going to leave now. We go out to the car. I put all 4 of them in the car. I'm like, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go back inside. I don't want us to have to go home yet. I had more day planned. I'm going to go buy her some underwear so she just puts them on. It sounds like it's way easier than it ended up being. Mm-hmm. Because when I get to the underwear aisle, I only need one pair. Isn't there a 3-pack? No, they're all fucking 12-packs.
Oh,
I don't need to spend $14.
See, and I was thinking like a 5-pack, but no. Yeah.
No, because that's how ours come.
Yeah.
5 or 6. Yep. Or maybe it's back to school time and you get 7 for the price of 5.
Oh, yeah, there's a bonus pack. Yeah.
I end up in the fucking clearance section.
Clearance underwear? Sweet.
Yeah. And there's a pack of Care Bear underwear. Perfect for a fucking 4-year-old girl.
Right on, yeah.
And they happen to have her size.
Double
size
ring.
4.
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
even fucking better. Because the next size they had was 8. I'm like, oh, that's not going to, no, that's going to fall right off.
Especially at that age, man. They're just bean poles.
And I'm thinking the whole time that we've bummed around the store for this long, I'm super fucking paranoid about these goddamn rent-a-cop store security officers that think that somebody's up to something because they're fucking loitering, picking up shit, not buying anything.
Well, especially
I
a guy
bought
maybe
groceries.
checking out the kids' underwear aisle maybe for a while.
Yeah, I sent my kids outside and I come back in and I'm fucking perusing clearance little girls' panties. That doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. I buy the underwear. I get outside. I show them to her. She's pleased. I've picked out something that is within her wheelhouse. Here's the problem. I open them up. They're size 4s. The first pair I pull out, size 6. The second pair I pull out, size 6. The third pair I pull out, size 4. Okay. But she doesn't want to wear that one.
Oof.
Yeah, and I'm not going to fucking fight with her because it's already been a goddamn whole pain in the ass.
Well, you must have like quite a few pair to go through then, right? I mean, there was a lot in there.
There was 6 fucking pair. Half of them were the wrong goddamn size.
What the hell?
Yeah. So instead of like fucking dressing her in the car, I take her back into the store. So I walk in with a kid I've walked out with once. It's my 3rd trip into the store in 45 minutes. And now I've got a single pair of little girl's panties in my pocket.
Good thing you're a dad.
And she doesn't look anything like me. She's blonde. My hair is dark as fuck.
I need an adult! I need an adult!
We go in the bathroom. We do the underwear thing. We wash our hands again. I fucking cross my fingers that she doesn't have pink eye.
I was going to say, she didn't touch her eye again, huh?
No, she fucking learned. She's like, Dad, I won't touch the toilet seat this time. I'm like, good, motherfucker, because I'm the one that's going to get stuck taking the urgent care, and that's always a bitch.
Just to get these little eye drops.
Yeah.
Should be over the counter at this point.
They should. It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah. But hey, they got to get their money's worth, you know.
I was going to say, who's going to abuse these?
So it turned into a weird day, even weirder than this, because we're back around the park.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that was the original destination.
I'm trying to find a different park in the same area, because there was another playground that's at a baseball field nearby. We went to it. They had some fun. And then we packed it in, and we're driving through the neighborhood because it's around where I work, and I'm showing them where I walk, and we're passing by a house that I've never walked by on a side street I've never gone down. And sitting at the end of the driveway is this bomb-ass leather chair. And I don't mean your run-of-the-mill, everybody gives them away, fucking leather recliner.
Mm-hmm.
You have seen my chair upstairs.
Yeah.
It's fucking, like, tailored. There is riveting. It's a fancy fucking chair. And I had never really had a dad chair before. Yeah. So I saw this at the end of a driveway, and I walked up, I'm like, are you giving this away? He's like, oh, yeah, if you want it, you can take it. I'm like, yes, that absolutely will do. And then I look at my car, and I go, fuck.
It's frustrating.
It's not going to fit in my trunk. So I call the wife. She's getting off of work. Timing's perfect. She meets us. We try to get in her car. Doesn't quite fit. She has no toe straps or bungees.
Sure.
So she's like, here's what we'll do. We'll come back for it. I'll go to my mom's house, and I'll get the truck.
Oh, okay.
And we'll come back and get it. Gotcha. So the guy's like, okay, well, we'll just set it up here by the house, and I'll throw a tarp over it. And I'm nervous that, squirrel's going to crawl up underneath it or something. So we got to do this fast. I don't know why I was all anxious. Like, I have no reason to have any anxiety about this.
You're excited, man. This is yours.
I've already had it promised to me. I don't want the guy to change his mind and give it to somebody else.
Right, yeah. He's just looking to get rid of it, right?
Like a child who's been promised a piece of pie at Baker's Square just for going there. I've already, tasting the pie. I'm picking out the banana cream or the strawberry rhubarb in my mind. I'm going to sit in this fucker. It's going to be great. She goes and gets the truck. We come back an hour and a half fucking later. Oh, thankfully, it's still fucking there.
I was going to say, that was a long time to have anxiety then.
Yeah, and it's just us. We left the kids at home watching each other. So then we get the fucking chair in the truck. We drive it to my house. And then it's like, How the fuck are we getting this in the house? It's too wide for the door to the porch. It's technically too wide for the door from the garage to the back porch itself. Fuck, what are we going to do? Try to wrestle with it on the landing? Because when you come in my house, it's a back door.
Yep.
There's a landing that is open on one side to 12 steps of doom down to the basement.
Right. You have to get up and over that or around that.
There's barely more room than Clark Kent has to fucking go Superman in the telephone booth when he changes.
Allegedly.
So we use the front door, which to most people is like, oh, okay, what's the big deal? I don't use the front door.
Right.
I keep it blocked off with a patio set so nobody bothers me. There's a no soliciting sticker on the fucking window of the storm door. And then I keep a towel with a draft blocker under it because it's an old house and I should probably just buy a new door.
Yeah, if you never use it.
Well, for the weather stripping alone, I should probably do something.
Yeah.
So we're trying to lift this in. It's awkward. My next door neighbor, he's a nice guy, but he's drunk. He's out in the yard. He's like, oh, you got yourself a new chair? How you getting that in? You want my help? Before I can even answer, he's picking up half the chair with me. And he's never been in my house. He's never even seen inside my house.
Oh, by design? You wanted him
Yes, very much so. And we're getting it in. He's like, oh, it's pretty nice in here. Yeah, man. I didn't think it'd be like this in here. I'm like, what does that mean? He's like, oh, I didn't know what your house was like compared to ours. I didn't mean like I thought it was going to be bad. So if you can't tell by the way I'm saying this, he's not white.
What the fuck, y'all? God damn!
And what is that?
Contextual detail.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, was there something else? Reason? Does that matter?
Well, I'm talking in a way that doesn't sound like me. It sounds more kind of, ethnic or urban. He is a man of color. I'm not sure if he's black or not. He calls himself black, but he's not all the way black. I think he might be like half Latino, so he's, mixed.
Okay.
But drunk, works for a moving company, more than happy to help me get this chair inside.
So I may have worked with him one time way back in the day then.
Perhaps. But I get the chair inside, and I sit in, and I'm like, oh, this is so fucking great.
Was it all worth the hassle?
Abso-fucking-lutely. But then the wife is like, oh, there's little puncture marks on the sides, on the arms. They must have had a cat. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
I was just going to say, yeah.
That's a nice fucking chair. She's like, so you're not going to want to move it down to the basement? I'm like, oh, no, it's staying up here. This is my chair now. None of you motherfuckers can sit in this. It's mine. It's Dad's chair. I'm finally one of those dads that has a chair.
Yeah,
Get the fuck out of my chair.
I was going to say, way to go, Al Bundy.
And then when she's fucking inspecting it, she's like, this thing's from Pottery Barn.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you this is like a $500 chair.
Maybe even more than that.
I'm like, well, think of the houses in the neighborhood we got it from. Those fucking houses are $500,000 houses, so...
If it was leather, too, you're talking way more than that. It could have been a couple grand if it's really nice.
I don't know if it's real leather.
Oh, okay.
Either way, it's fucking free and it's mine and it's great. And although I had to deal with whining at the playground about snacks and an awkward trip to Target that involved poop, we had another doo-doo brown adventure. And I learned some things about my daughter's ability to not follow directions while in a crunch. I did end up with that chair, which I sit in all the fucking time. My ass and my couch. It's like, you know that meme of the guy walking with his girlfriend and he's looking back at the chick behind him that walked by them like, ooh.
Making that
and his
face.
girlfriend's like, ah. My couch is the girlfriend and I'm the guy and the dad chair is the chick walking by with the gangster booty that he's checking out. I mean, I love my couch. Like, you fucking lay on that thing. Good night.
Yeah.
It's happened to Chi-Chi now. We'll sit down to watch a movie and she's fucking out. Anywhere from 19 to like 42 minutes in. I've actually timed this shit. 19 to 42 minutes. She'll always wake up and like, oh, the movie's over? What happened? Did they catch the killer? Because, we watched the whole Scream series. And then recently we fucking watched I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And somewhere in between there we watched Urban Legend.
Okay.
I'm only going for 90s slasher flicks.
What were the ones with the different ways to die?
Saw?
Well, no, there was Saw. I was trying to... Final Destination.
Yeah, no.
No? Not going to get into that one? I was just... You're saying 90s slasher flicks, so that's kind of what I was thinking.
No, that one hits too close to home because that movie ruined air travel for me forever.
Yeah, and that might have been early 2000s anyway.
Fuck Devon Sawa for that movie. He was so good in it, but god damn it. I can never get into a plane ever again.
Yeah?
Without visualizing the fire in the cabin melting their fucking faces. The first time I got on a plane after watching that movie was like 2006. It had been years since I'd flown. And I'm flying to Ohio to see a high school friend. I'm going to say that again. I purposely went to Ohio in the greater Columbus area
Yeah, it's
Not
far enough.
Cleveland, not Cincy, Columbus.
There's a lot of people that live in there. There's like as many as the Twin Cities area that live in Columbus.
Well, it was like nice, like downtown Minneapolis in times when it's nice. Mm-hmm. Not like right now per se. But anyways, the whole time I'm in the fucking plane, I'm nervous as shit because I haven't flown in years, and that movie's going through my head. And I keep, for some reason, thinking of goddamn Alanis Morissette's song "Ironic."
Oh yeah, the plane.
As
went
the
down
plane
and-
went down, he thought, "Well, isn't this nice?" No, what I'm picturing though is another plane's nose coming through the cabin of our fucking plane through the fuselage.
Yep.
And it's just, I could not shake that the whole flight. And I have Final Destination to thank for that bullshit. So I don't want to do that to the girls because then they've never flown.
Oh, you think that'll be one that'll scar them for a long time? Yeah.
Oh my God. Chi-Chi still talks about going to the goddamn doctor to get a throat swab like she's a rape victim.
Where the hell does it... What? Whoa, that kind of came out of nowhere.
You honestly have to fucking negotiate with her like you're trying to get hostages away from attackers to get her to let them put that fucking Q-tip in her mouth to swab her throat. And you almost have to hold her down, too. It's fucking bananas. There's episodes of this show all about that.
But so there's got to be strep, though, for them to swab her throat, right? I mean, is she getting lots of strep tests? Is that why you're going in for these things?
Yeah, they've had strep a bunch of times.
Yeah, that's why. Okay, yeah, that thing sucks. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, that's a terrible process. If you've ever had that done, that is absolutely horrible.
And if you're already scared about it and you're a little girl, it's just worse.
Yeah, exactly. Building up that emotion around it, yeah.
So, speaking of it, a week and a half ago, she's got a cold. She wants to stay home from school. I'm like, no, you do that, you go to the doctor. She's like, well, I have to get a throat swab. And I'm like, ace in the hole. Yes, you probably will.
Yep.
She's like, I'll just take the cough medicine like you said and then clear my throat and blow my nose and go to school.
Yeah. Well, if she actually really has strep, you'll know it later on that day because she'll be even worse. And so, little side story. When I got done with my x-ray schooling, I had to go work in a clinic, and it just so happened to be a pediatric clinic. Well, 9 times out of 10, if a kid came in and they were complaining of a sore throat or being sick, you know what we did? We took out the sticks and we swabbed the back of their throat. And the instruction literally was, in order to make sure you get the test done right, you can't be just
gentle.
You got to get in there, and the faster you get in and get out, the better. So yeah, I mean, we were taught to just kind of go in there, go in rough, and get the hell out.
Giggity.
Before they, yeah, I know there's a lot of metaphors and other things you can take from that, but before they threw up, before they gagged, before they coughed a bunch, I mean, they were going to cough anyway, so.
Right, releasing the fucking germs into the air for everybody to catch it.
Yeah, exactly. So, the quicker you can get your face out of that way, too, the better, because they're going to cough right into your eye.
Did your dad have a dad chair growing up?
No. We didn't have that recliner, but my grandpa did. Both my grandpas had that recliner, just off to the side of the TV, usually closer to the TV too.
Yeah. My dad would sleep on the floor in the family room to watch TV.
Really?
He'd lay on the floor with a pillow under his neck.
Huh.
Yes.
And that was his spot, yeah.
Underneath that carpet, minimal padding, concrete slab. Do not understand it.
Must have done something for his spine. Ugh.
I don't fucking know, because when I do that on the floor upstairs, I feel like shit.
As an adult, we've gone camping at times, and if you don't have a bunch of padding down or an air mattress, I'm going to be sore as shit because I can't sleep on solid ground or anything like that anymore.
You know who's had a dad chair way longer than he's been a dad?
Ricky?
Our buddy Rick James, yeah.
Yeah.
He's always had a recliner.
Oh, yeah, no, he was smart about that early on. I mean, in his early 20s, that's the place where you want to be. As soon as he got a place on his own, I think he had one of those.
The most memorable story I have about Rick James and his recliner, it's completely unrelated to anything we've talked about to this point in the episode.
Fair enough.
I'm sitting on the couch in the house he used to live in with his brother that they bought from their grandparents.
Yep, I know it well.
So it's got the Muppet Show theater-style fucking curtains on all the windows.
Oh, yeah, they look like they're straight out of the 70s.
They had not updated anything in that fucking house.
Yeah.
And he's got this chair, and he sits by the TV with this TV tray for his phone and his remotes. And we're talking, and he works out in the field. He's a construction surveyor. And he's telling me, he's like, oh my God, dude, speaking of wood ticks, I had one last week. Holy shit. It was like the size of a fucking snow pea. It was so engorged with blood. I'm like, where the fuck was it that you didn't notice? He's like, it was in my pubes.
Jesus Christ.
That's what I fucking had for a reaction. I'm like, how fucking long are your pubes that you didn't notice a goddamn bug down by your dick that was getting bigger over time?
Right?
Because it would have had to been there for days. And he's like, well, what do you shave yours off? And I'm like, you don't?
You don't at least mow the hedges or the lawn, buddy?
I've been waiting for a way to work this fucking story into an episode for like 5 fucking years, no joke. And it's just like, I thought, okay, it relates.
That's awesome.
I found out that day that Rick James does not manscape whatsoever. He has like almost no body hair.
Okay.
But apparently he's just got a fucking thatch of pubes down there. And his dick must look like a fucking robin egg in a bird's nest. And there was a fucking giant, inflated, blood-engorged wood tick in his pubic area.
Glad it didn't get infected, or something. He goes to pull it off and the head stays there. And next thing you know, oh, jeez.
Yeah, he's at the doctor. And because, if they have to look at that, they're probably going to have to shave him.
Oh, no. Well, then maybe he'd get a taste for it. Maybe he'd find something new and maybe he would like it.
Well, I wonder why no girl has ever said anything to him. Like, hey, I'm sick of it tickling when you're on top of me.
Or the chances of getting a blowjob have got to be next to none then, too.
Yeah.
Are you going to pat it down or try to, like...
Unless it's just like when you stuff a mouse hole with fucking steel wool, it's only around the base and the balls.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's just got like this perfectly hairless pink fucking baby doll shaft.
I don't know. We might be going too far down this rabbit hole of...
There's nothing wrong with discussing the look of our friend's dick, okay? We've known him for many years.
So that makes it okay?
It makes it totally not at all gay to discuss the aesthetics of your close friend's genitalia.
Because you found out indirectly by way of his story that he does not manscape.
Yeah. Well, he sat in his dad chair.
Well, glad to hear he didn't have like Lyme disease or something from it. Get a big old ring target there too.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
That's a nice
terrible.
touch.
Yeah.
Interact with the show on Twitter at What Do We Call It? That is at What Do We Call It? You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/What Do We Call It podcast show. For the What Do We Call It podcast, I'm Jmann.
This is Steiny.
And that's the end.